Hi, y'all. Real quick, I'm trying to see how this setting the timer for your video to come out thing works. So I set the timer for this to come out at 10 o'clock tonight. So let me see how that works. All right. So really quickly, just to do this as like a test. Two things that I talk about in L&D, learning and development, and the stuff I do, right, is that there is a difference between making a decision and making a choice. And I'm bringing that up because recently, well, yesterday, I posted something on my Facebook page because I read about Benny Hinn, and if you guys know Benny Hinn, he's like that prosperity guy. He'd take his jacket and sling it on people and they'd fall out and all that stuff, right? But he also preached about, I don't know what the saying was, give 1,000 and break the poverty chain, something like that he'd say. I don't know. Well, recently he came out saying, that's trash. I ain't saying that no more. That shit ain't true. I mean, that stuff ain't true. So he said he's going to start, preaching a different thing because the Holy Ghost doesn't like that and that's not right and all that. So he's changing his mind about that. Now, to change your mind, to really change your mind about something is not like just making a different choice. Okay. When you make a choice, you're saying, okay, instead of the chicken, I'm going to have the beef. Okay. That's a choice. Somebody's providing you options, very clear options. Now you're making a choice. A decision is like, okay, I eat chicken. Now I'm going to change my whole lifestyle and I'm going to be a vegan. Okay. That's a decision, because decisions, the thing that's the main difference between the two, between a decision and a choice. And I talk about this a lot in training and development, because what you're looking to do when you're training to do something, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to start a business, you're taking training to learn marketing, whatever that is, what you're looking to do is really change your whole situation. Okay. Right. So you're going to have to change your mind about some stuff and make some decisions if you're trying to change your entire situation versus I'm going to stay where I am, but I'm just going to make a different choice. Okay. So the main difference between those two is when you make, and this, is when you make a decision, you always have uncertainty in there, right? You always have a sliver of, I don't know what the hell is going to happen once I do this thing. Like, I just don't know. There's always that when you're making a decision. Now with a choice, like I said, you have clear options. It's very, very clear. I can have this one or that one. There's no ambiguity, none of that stuff. Okay. Now this is important because now, again, I was talking about the Benny Hinn thing. Okay. Now what I did when I talked about earlier, when I wrote my book and the stuff that I did, that was a full on 100% decision, okay, that I made there, right? Because let me give you an example of the difference between the two. All right. Think right now, think of a lemon. Think I have a lemon in my hand right here. Okay. Now I'm going to take a knife. I'm going to slice the lemon. All right. Now, some of the juice squirts out as I slice it, and you see some of the lemon, and I squeeze it a little bit, and some of the lemon juice comes out. Okay. Even as I'm doing this, notice how your mouth feels. Okay. Do you notice that? Like how your mouth is doing that? Because what happens is when we're really learning something, what's happening is you're engaging all of the body. There's something called total behavior. Okay. And that means behavior is made of four things. Okay. It's made of actions, thinking, physiology, that's your body, and feelings. Okay. It's like four wheels on a car. So anytime you have behavior change, you have all four of these things changing: your physiology, your thinking, your feeling, and your actions. So when I did that thing with the lemon, you feel that I ain't got no lemon here. I'm just telling you, right? But your body brings all that it knows about lemons and what it feels like to bite into one, okay, or a pickle or something like that, right? Your mind is bringing all that so that it's having a reaction, right? Your body is changing as you're thinking about this, right? That's what happens when you make a decision, all of these things change. Your physiology, which is your body, your feeling, your thinking, and your actions. It's not just your actions. So when you're looking for somebody, now when I do this in training, right? When I'm looking for people, so for example, right now, I am working on a training in cybersecurity. Okay. So we want these kids to be able to do something different. Okay. We want their behavior to change. But what we have to realize is if we want this sustained change, now if you change, like you have what is it called? A 4-wheel drive or something? I don't know what the hell. But when you turn your wheel, all the wheels turn in that direction. That's what we're looking for. I don't just want your acting to change. All three of these have to, which means you have to be able to learn in a certain way so that the physiology, just like it happened with the lemon, when I mentioned a lemon or a pickle and squeezing it and you feel like right here, you feel something, that's the body, right? All of that stuff has to change. Now, how does that happen? How do you make something like that happen? How do you have, I have I don't know if she's watching right now, but my sister, right? She has, there's someone living with them that she wants to move on. Okay. So, but there are some things that this person has to do, in order for, to get in their own place. All right. To do that. Now, there's some learning that needs to happen, right? Because right now, what's going on, and yes, some of y'all got people in y'all house that y'all don't want there. Come on now. A lot of us have had people in our spaces, in our homes, whatever, and looking at the clock, like, when are you leaving? Whether it's your children, a relative, your cousin, whatever. Okay. So, and these people, so there's things that you need to learn, right? In order to be able to get on your own and do these kinds of things. So how do you teach somebody something so that not only do the actions, because if you don't have these three, this action that's changed, that's not going to last. It absolutely will not last. Okay. Unless you can get these other three on board. All right. So what you have to do, the very simple thing to do for that, it's called context-based learning. That's what it's called. Okay. Now let me tell you what that is. Context-based learning is me, if I'm trying to learn how to start a business, let's say that, for example, I want to start a business. I want to have my own thing. What you would typically do is you would go to a starting your own business conference or training or online, whatever. Okay. You would look at that. You would get some pointers. You would say, okay, they tell me to do A, B, and C. I'm going to do A, B, and C. How many people do you know who have done A, B, and C, but still ain't got nothing going on? But that's what the thing said I need to do to start my business, right? If you really want to start your business, context-based learning says, start your damn business. It says, what do you want to do? Okay, what do I want to do? For example, what do I want to do? Learning and development. Okay. That means I got all my paperwork, all that stuff is done, because that's easy to do. Anybody can do that. But just because you got all your paperwork done, like I'm talking about like the IRS stuff and all that don't mean you can start your business. Okay. Other things have to happen. First of all, you need customers, right? You need people to come and pay for what you are offering. Okay. You can't get customers if don't nobody know about you, right? You can't do that. There's this one guy, very, very good. He had a plumbing business. I'm talking about context here. Context means the stuff that's happening around you. That means your reality, what's going on in the world. Okay, that's context. All right. He had a plumbing business that he just started. Couldn't get no clients. Didn't know how to get them. There was other competition in the county. Just having a hard time. Just making Vistaprint ads and stuff like that. I mean, that stuff is fine, but that don't mean anybody's going to come, right? Okay. So what he did was one day he said, I went to Lowe's. Okay. He said, I hung out in the plumbing section. And when people would come to buy plumbing stuff, I would be there to help. I'd say, like, what are you looking for? And he said people would be like, oh, do you work here? He'd be like, no, I don't work here, but I'm a local plumber. And, I just see that you're in this section and, just let me know what you need. So he would help the people who would come to the plumbing section. And when he was done chatting with them, he'd say, I think you can do this, but if you need any help, here's my card. Just let me know. And I'll this man, he actually got out there and did his business. Okay. He got out there and did his business. He was there to consult with people, to tell them what kind of things they need to do. Now, he wasn't getting compensated in money, but money is not the only capital. You have two other kinds of capital that are just as, if not more valuable than money. The first one is cultural capital. Okay. And that deals with the learning and the degrees you have, all the stuff you have behind your name and all that stuff, right? The second one, which is what he was doing in Lowe's, is social capital. Social capital is who you know. Okay. And I promise you, if you look at the government right now, the people that are in leadership positions in government, you think they got there because of what they know? No. I promise you, I am in that sector a lot. They did not get there because of what they know. They got there because of who they know. That's how they got there. Okay. So what he was doing was he was building his social capital in the community. Okay. So that he says people, they began to know who he was. And this is like word of mouth, right? That's social capital. That's social capital. That's word of mouth. So that brought him, the wonderful thing about cultural and social capital is they work to bring you economic capital, right? They work to bring you the social mobility that'll lead to more economic capital. Okay. So when you are looking, now he had to make a decision to get out there because he was saying, it was uncomfortable. I'm an introvert. I don't just be going up talking to people. I don't do all that stuff. Right. He had to change his behavior. He had to change what he did. He had to change how he felt about it. He had to change his thinking, and he had to change whatever the fourth one was. I forget. He had to change all that stuff, right? In order for him to be able to get those gains that come with that. So for what I'm doing here, for the not the degree, the training that I'm doing. So it's two of them, right? I am doing everything I can, looking for ways to incorporate contextual learning, context. And it's so simple because all you're doing is you're allowing the person, instead of concentrating on teaching somebody to do something or telling somebody to do something, all you're doing is you're creating the conditions for them to just learn it on their own. That's all you're doing. You're creating conditions for them to learn it, to learn it on their own. So my brother, the way he learned to swim, he told me, we're from Louisiana. You got bayous everywhere, right? The way he said he learned to swim is my Uncle Johnny threw him in the bayou. Thank God he didn't drown, but but that's an extreme thing. But that's what it is. You just got to get in there. You got to get in there. And it's not about, and you're going to make mistakes. And I don't like to call it failure. You're going to make developmental errors is what you're going to do. Because if you're going to grow, you got to make some kind of errors. You're not going to do everything right all the time, right? You have to make errors and learn from that stuff. And that's how you grow, right? That's how you grow your business. That's how you grow your YouTube channel. That's how you grow your friendships and, all that stuff. My best friend in the world, is Karen. She used to be my sister-in-law, but she's like my sister now. Sometimes I can't stand her. And I tell her that, we have had many developmental things, right? Where she got on my nerves, I got on hers, but when relationships grow, you got to do that, right? You have to grow through that stuff and not just get stuck in a certain place. I'm like changing the subject, it sounds like, but it's all related. Okay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, decisions and choices. Okay. When you have to make a decision is not easy. Okay, because there's a lot of uncertainty in there. You cannot dot all your I's and cross all your T's before you make that leap. Okay, you just can't do that, because that's not the anatomy of a decision. Okay, that's the anatomy of a choice. A choice lets you dot all the I's and cross all the T's before you go to do that thing, because everything is sure for you. Okay? And even sometimes over there, stuff slips up, right? But for the most part, what Benny Hinn is doing, I don't know. That sounds like I don't know. Look, let me just say I don't know what it is, but to me it sounds like he's simply making a choice, right? So this could be just another way to make money in a different way. I don't know, because he has a real big history, and that don't mean that you cannot change your mind and make a decision. Okay, that's not what I'm saying, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. If he is like, this is like a first step, but he got a ways to go. Okay, let me see him give some of the millions back to them people. Then we could talk. All right. Oh, hey, Lorenzo. How are you? All right. So I think that's all I have to say today. And this will post like sometime tonight. I just wanted to test that to see what was up with that. So thank y'all for listening, and I will see you later. Bye.